Hello and welcome to TSL Talk for round 16. Today we're joined by the coach of the inform Lauderdale side, Darren Winter. Darren, thanks very much for joining us.
No worries, nice to be here.
3 wins on a row. What's turned it around for your boys?
Look, I think we weren't too far off the mark right through the season, but we just had really bad lapses, which cost us dearly in different quarters here and there. And in those quarters where we had those lapses, the teams normally kicked 10 or 11 goals against us, which was put us out of the game. So I think that we've been a little bit more consistent over the game, and I think our younger blokes have stepped up and probably matched the output of the senior players.
Were you faring the worst halfway through the season? Was it looking pretty bleak there for a while?
Yeah, it wasn't looking good at all. But we certainly aimed to better than last year's performance, and probably 6 weeks ago that didn't look like that was going to happen, and now we've bettered that. So look, it was a tough time for a period there, but it's pretty exciting at the moment. And
there's no coincidence that your form's risen with the return of your Mariners like Jack Gilby and Andrew Phillips, getting some continuity into the team.
Yeah, look, it's really tough dealing with having guys in and out, and we've got 7 guys that were in the state squad as well for the under-16. So just having guys there that weren't available from a different week because of a practice game halfway through the season and in the carnival, it sort of unsettles the team a little bit. But having those guys back has been fantastic. Phillips in the ruck has been giving us first use of the ball, and obviously Gilby is a quality player, and I think they've both got a pretty big future ahead of them.
Do AFL clubs speak to you about these players?
No, look, we've sort of kept in contact with Matthew Armstrong, who's sort of given us a fair bit of feedback. Both of them have been invited to the draft camp, which has been fantastic for those gentlemen, and we'll try and assist them any way we can.
Sort of being down the sort of lower end of the ladder, was avoiding the wooden spoon at motivation for the team? You have to set little goals for your side?
Look, it was obviously nobody wants to finish on bottom of the ladder. I didn't think we were playing that bad a footy that we were going to finish there, but we wanted to continue to take steps up the ladder, and I don't think finishing bottom was hopefully not a realistic goal that we were, or something that we were going to achieve, but it was more that we wanted to get into a position where we could step up and maybe play finals footy. We kept that finals, I suppose, agenda alive pretty well, which is still alive now, but a little bit unrealistic, but still there.
Yep.
So it was more just to continue to improve and step up the ladder a bit.
This week's opponent is Burnie at West Park. They're probably in a similar situation to you. Probably defy the critics a lot. A very young squad and coming good late in the season.
Yeah. Look, they're still in the hunt for the finals as well. They're probably a better chance than we are to make the finals. So it's going to be a pretty crucial game for them. If we get a win on the board, that takes us up one more step on the ladder, and hopefully we can draw even with them, and then in the next couple of weeks step up again.
Yeah, round 16, first time you're playing against them. Do you know much about them?
No, we don't. I've seen them play Glenorchy just on the TV last week or the week before, and they've got some really good young kids. Mychek at centre half forward is a quality player, and Weller at full forward, and obviously they've got the midfielder Mundy and Shackleton. So yeah, really young team. And plenty of enthusiasm. Big road trip. I think the weather's going to be a bit ordinary up there as well. So yeah, she's going to be a big day.
As Launceston defeating Clarence last week open up the premiership race?
Look, I actually thought Launceston were a pretty good team. Clarence, I think just doesn't seem to be right in the camp at the moment, and I actually picked Launceston by 8 goals on Saturday, so I thought they were in pretty good form. And look, I think they're the 2 best teams in the competition, and I think Launceston, I think their structure is probably a little bit more settled than Clarence. Clarence got a lot of injuries, obviously, and I suppose losing Gapin doesn't help them at all. But Launceston's there, and they're a genuine threat.
Yep. There's been a lot of talk this week about AFL games being played at Belrive. Do you think that'll be a good thing for local football in Tasmania?
I think so. I think having the best football in the country here on 4 or 5 times a year is fantastic for the code. Long overdue. I think having football in Launceston is good, but I still think Belrive's the premier ground in the state, and I think probably well overdue to get AFL football in Hobart.
What sort of impact on junior football does having AFL here, having kids have access to go and watch them regularly, does it create a real surge in interest in the game?
I think so. I think the participation rates will go through the roof. We've already got strong participation rates in Tasmania. I think having those guys here and being able to see those guys that, obviously they're heroes on TV and that sort of stuff will, just impact on the younger guys substantially.
Yep. Now to have a look at the rest of the games for round 16. South Launceston looked almost assured of sewing up the wooden spoon for the second year in a row to North Launceston at Friday night at Aurora Stadium.
Yeah, I'm going for South Launceston. We need them to lose 3, get North Launceston to lose 3 games for us to have a chance, but realistically I think North's going to get over the top of them.
Yeah, Hobart, which was, I think they've lost 7 straight now, and were a game clear in the 6,
Yep.
and now find themselves 9th against Glenorchy. They've been really disappointing in the second half of the year, Hobart, haven't they?
Yeah, they have been. Look, Hobart, they go out and have a crack, there's no doubt about that. Probably just a little bit short on their, the genuine talent coming through the club. So, but same thing, we need Glenorchy to lose, so I'd like to see Hobart, but I think Glenorchy's going to get over them. Glenorchy are going all right at the moment.
Yeah, Clarence at home to North Hobart. Clarence coming off a loss for the first time this season.
Yeah.
North Hobart been up and down for about 5 or 6 weeks now.
Yeah, look, North Hobart's fallen down a little bit. I think Clarence is going to get over them pretty comfortably.
Wouldn't North Hobart be disappointed with where they are at the moment?
I think they would be. Yeah, they started off pretty well, and we played them in the first 3 rounds, I think it was, and they looked really damaging. I think when you lose players like Nathan Street and then Jesse Wells has been hampered by injuries, and Seek Gardam sort of lost his form a little bit, I think that has a big impact. Someone like Street gets it 30, 35 times a game, really hurts you.
Yeah, and definitely the game of the round is at Launceston and Devonport at Aurora Stadium. Launceston second, absolutely flying, and Devonport third on the ladder.
Yeah, look, I think Launceston will be much too strong. I reckon they'll have a pretty easy win, especially on the big ground there. Devonport, they've got good strong bodies, but I think, Launceston will probably just run over them a bit.
Yep. What do you think the impact of the loss of Nathan O'Donoghue will have on Launceston for the rest of the season?
Look, he holds them up pretty well. He straightens them up really good down the spine and takes a little bit of pressure off Finch as well. Allows him to get maybe a smaller player who been a bit stronger and hits up pretty well. I think that's going to be a big loss for him. Yeah, look, I still think they'll get over them. I think their running power is a lot better. But O'Donoghue's going to be a big loss for them.
All right, Darren, well, thanks very much for joining us on TSL Talk. And remember, for your TSL stories and previews, pick up your copy of The Mercury or go to The Mercury online.